What do you remember about the Snyder Cyclone team? No, probably you probably played against us and knew more about the Snyder Cyclone team than any other opposing coach, and had great success against us too. Several times in the years preceding this. What do you remember about the team that won state?
Well, the number one thing I remember anytime you played Snyder, that I hated playing them. I hated getting prepared for you, because you was going to have so many formations, and you was going to find some way to have somebody wide open. And our kids had to be ready to adjust in a ball game without calling timeout, without coming to the sideline, because you're going to burn too many. But you was always a guy that had your kids very well prepared.
They were just a group of kids that anybody would have loved to have the opportunity to coach. You had a whole group of kids on that team that had the ability to play for about any team they played against. Man, they put out all the effort, that they could. Their athletic ability, man, was just amazing. Things they could do.
I enjoyed being around them too. That's the thing. We enjoyed being around each other.
And believe it or not, that whole season, every team that we played was good. That was a tough year to be in that class. And so the accomplishment of winning the gold ball at the very last had a lot from the standpoint of they wanted it more than everybody else did that year.
With us, I think we had a lot of success. Being from Little League baseball and stuff. We've known each other and been together for a long, long time. A lot of teams and a lot of players can't say that. Like I said, we grew up together.
I can remember as early as when we first started getting into football, 5th and 6th grade year. I always remember, I know that Casey was in there, but we had talked to some certain teachers and say that, we're going to win state before we graduate. But that was always a goal of mine.
I figured that it was your defense. Yeah. You knew you could win with your defense. And again, that year your defense was just outstanding. Again, like we've talked a little bit ourselves, you could press the line of scrimmage, but you had the guys on the outside to cover the pass. And you had to be an exceptional team to be able to beat you.
It's all about the team. I tell my son that all the time. You got to play with great effort. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Wins and losses they're going to come and go, but playing with great effort, people will always remember that. Boy, that kid played hard all the time. Those things are important to me. Kids playing with great effort, and I think our teams always play with great effort.
We talked a little bit earlier about what was different from this ball team, and they was explosive. A strong, well-disciplined ball teams. All of the times we ever played Snyder, that's what I seen. The one that I seen, the other one that I seen that year was poised. You guys, nothing phased you that I seen. It was, and one thing that kind of comes to my memory was in your semifinal game against Morrison. And, I was up there in the stands, I was watching, and I'm talking to Zach, and I say, man, he needs to take the safety here. And you do.
And I also remember, of course, going to Mustang and watching them play Morrison, and one of the most epic battles I've ever seen in all the years that I've watched Snyder football. And it was just, it still gives me goosebumps and makes me smile.
Gary Manuel's the one that made you go. I think I looked at some stats, 2,000 yards rushing. I don't remember how many touchdowns. 1,500 yards passing. And that made Gary special, but what really made Gary special was he was just like a coach out there. He knew he could adjust anytime. He could change a play. I don't know how much film he watched, but he was special. He understood the game of football. And anytime you got somebody like that at your quarterback position, then you got a great chance. Because he could turn on a dime, and if he was a step ahead of you, it's over. And I don't know of many that could even touch him in spring, except maybe one of y'all's players.
The reason why I coach, because of how my coaches treated me when I was a player in high school and college. That's the reason why I coach, because it was more to them than just, hey, get out there and run that football. Sometimes it's good just sit down with a kid. How's your day going? Hey, how's your mom and dad doing? To me, that was important to me, and just, you guys weren't just coaches. You guys were mentors, and we grew up where it wasn't, You know, you didn't have a lot of dads. We didn't have a lot of two-parent homes when we grew up. You know, when we played. You think about it, all the kids we had on our team, we didn't have a lot of two-parent homes. You know, so the football coach was like that. You know, you could always talk to the football coach, and you know, your coach is always there for you if you needed something, if they can help you. You know, your coach is always there for you, and that's what I try to do, and that's why I coach kids today. That's my passion. That's the reason why I coach it. I tell people all the time, it's not about the wins and losses. It's about, you know, how you shape and mold a person.
Just about everybody that I know that's on this team have pretty decent jobs. And I think a lot of that goes back to coaching.
I know this sounds crazy, but there isn't a day that goes by and I don't think about it.
You know, I see their kids. I'm so proud of them. They got good jobs. They're doing well. They got wives, and you know, it's, to me, that's a great feeling because you help mold and shape a person. You know, and to me, that's a great feeling because you never know. A lot of kids, you never know. I always tell people this: every kid's got a story, but how do you want your story to end is the question. Every kid's got a story.